Screen is up. I'm actually trying to look at my thing over here. Can looks like okay. Wait, let me see if I can. Okay, all good. For some reason, yeah, I was just trying to check out. Okay, now let's see. Come back. All right. We took a break last week, but welcome back to the Ask Me Anything Sunday session. This is where we answer questions that you have posted on my YouTube channel or my Facebook group. And basically, last week it was an accident because last week I was working on a new program, and eventually I was too into building the program, and eventually I forgot that I've got a live session on Sunday. I know this is not the first time I actually took a break though. I think in between we actually took a gap for I think we gap for several times. Okay, what's up, Chiwai? Hey, by the way, I think we can show your name already, right? Let's see, Khan. Okay, or okay. They updated something, but I haven't explored this thing yet. The Melon has updated something, but obviously you will be able to show your name when you are commenting on Facebook right now. But let me figure out later. Okay, so yeah, I mean, Chia is saying understand, can understand. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. No, it was really not a break. In fact, last Sunday I was recording for a new program. I was too into the whole thing until I forgot. Yeah, but thanks. Okay, thanks for coming back. Thanks for joining me. And basically, that's what we do. All right. I've gotten several questions over here, but I guess if you have any questions, feel free to post in the comment. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, it's pretty cool. Just put it over here. Okay. I'm just gonna quickly go through now. As I mentioned just now, I have some announcement to make. This is where we get a bit of exciting here because you see, I don't know, man. I mean, for those who have been with me for a while, you know that I actually started building this community since 2010. Okay, there was the time where the pandemic hit us, and to be frank, at one point I didn't know what to do. Nothing much we could do back then, right? So I started to build my YouTube channel. I started to build my Facebook group. I started going live, and it was really a very interesting journey. And I'm so privileged to have met all of you, and to be able to serve the community is something that I truly enjoy doing. Okay, so I'm gonna take a step further. Shut up, Chiwai. Chiwai asking what kind of announcement you're getting married. Nothing to do with you. No lah, just kidding. Okay, so what's happening here is let me bring this up. Okay, can you guys see this? All right, I am launching a new podcast. Okay, I'm launching a new podcast called the Small Biz Marketing Podcast. I mean, this is just a temporary code name. I mean, more or less, we kind of put some thought to the naming, but nonetheless, this is really something that in fact, this is something that I have been thinking about. I wanted to do something because you see, as a digital marketer, as a Facebook ad strategies coach and trainer, I have been, in a way, I have built the foundation for my, whatever that we have been doing right now. And a lot of you already know what I do. Okay, and that's kind of like I have already laid the foundation. And over the years, especially in the past 2 years, we have built, in a way, a community. And I think to take a step further, how can I serve the community better? In fact, other than being a digital marketer, I have been a mixed business owner. I wouldn't say that I'm a good business owner or bad business owner, but then again, because of the journey that I've been through in the past 10 odd years, I think I can share more. I think I can bring more to the table. I have more value that I can add to the community. That's why I launched this podcast where I want to focus on talking about entrepreneurship. Okay, not just digital marketing or Facebook advertising. I want to expand a little bit. I want to talk about entrepreneurship, about the challenges that I faced, about the situations that I put myself, especially about the failures that I have been through. In fact, I actually recorded the first episode of this podcast. You guys can scan this and go over. This is a Spotify link, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? I mean, did you guys get to the right link? It should be a Spotify link where what happened here is I mean, the first episode was about why you started, why you started your business. I mean, that was really a question I asked myself, why I started my business. Because to be frank, I think one of the important thing that every entrepreneurs or every business owners must understand is, why did you do a thing? In fact, to me, whatever I do, the why is always a very important thing. Just like, about these podcasts, I've been thinking about this because I wanted to brew this, since I had this thought, and eventually after a few months, in fact, I've been thinking about this. I think I'm ready because I have a very strong why. The idea here is, I think entrepreneurship is a very lonely journey, if you would agree, and a lot of stuff, right? In a way, um, you can't really share whatever struggle or the challenges that you're facing with a lot of people surrounding you. First, they may not be able to understand. Second thing is, especially you won't be able to talk about this to your team members, especially about the challenges, because first thing first, you actually would put them into a very panic situation. And second thing is, I mean, I'm not saying that they are not smart or whatever. It's just that when you're not in the position, right, you may not be able to see the situation as you do. So that's why I think serving the community has got a different purpose over here, because I want to discuss. I think it's more like, I mean, definitely I would share a lot more from my end, but I guess I really wanted to spark discussion. So I would like to know, I mean, if you listen to this first episode, I would like to know why you started your business. You can actually share with me in my Facebook page, where I will bring it back and I will discuss in the next episode. And definitely, hopefully, we can inspire more people. And if you have any stories about, because in my first episode, I talk about one of the time I started my business without really having a very strong why. And eventually, those businesses that I started without a strong why would usually come to a point where it will be stagnant and it will be faded out. So that's my story. And I would like to hear your story to see if there's anything that we can learn from each other. I think that's the purpose of this. So we were not just talking about marketing. We will talk about entrepreneurship. I will share about my crazy experience managing a team that I eventually found out that I'm not a capable manager. And we can share about leadership. We can share about a lot of things, about building business. But fundamentally, I would cut in from the angle of managing, building, and growing a small business. Is a small business. You see, I mean, I have been building. I would consider myself as a small business, and I think later on when I share that part, I would talk about why do I want to keep it small, and because of a lot of reasons. Okay, and eventually I actually went through some mindset change, in fact. So that's something that I also want to share with you guys. Okay, a lot of interesting stuff. Hopefully, I can bring to you and hopefully inspire some of you, or I would like to learn from you as well. So that's the podcast, Small Biz Marketing Podcast by yours truly. I hope you like it, and please share with more friends who are into entrepreneurship, who are into building a business, or probably aspiring entrepreneurs will be all welcome to join. Hopefully, accumulatively, right? Like we have Chiwa here, we have a few other people who are already building a business. I believe my community are mostly business owners. That's why I wanted to build a community that we can help more newcomers to grow together. Why not, right? Okay, so that's the Small Biz Marketing Podcast. So that's the first thing. Now, the second thing that I am announcing tonight here is I'm launching a new program. This is a free workshop. I wouldn't call it a workshop. It's more like it's gonna be a Zoom call where I want to gather all people, everyone who is interested to learn about the latest trends and updates on Facebook advertising. Where because I intend to do this on a quarterly basis. First thing first, this is gonna be a quarterly update. That's why we're gonna have this on the 26th of March. It's gonna be on Saturday. Sorry, it's on the 26th of March. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna gather whatever I learned in the past one quarter, about Facebook advertising, whether I learn it from Facebook or I learn it from my campaign observation, and I learn it from my students, my coaching clients, and whatnot. And I would love to have you to join me, not just to learn about what I have got to share, but also to share with us as a community about what have you discovered when you're running your campaign. I think this is going to be a very meaningful one. You see, moving forward, all the programs that I conduct, I hope to have a more two-way communication. That's why, as you can see, I'm slowing down on the Facebook group live kind of model. Not to say I don't enjoy that. In fact, I do. But you see, when it comes to Facebook Live, right? I think you realize, for those who have been joining the Facebook Live, you realize that uh, there will be a delay. Like there will be a few seconds delay, and the interaction is not that fun, you see. And when we do a Zoom call like that together, although within a very close community, I think the interaction will be a lot more exciting. I mean, I know it because I've been doing Zoom call training or Zoom workshops in the past few months. And to be frank, I kind of love it. That's why I want to do this in Zoom. And join me, scan the code and go over to join me in my first ever Facebook ads trends and updates for Q1 2022. I think the time is good because now we are entering for Malaysian market. We are going to start the Ramadan marketing, which is the Hari Raya marketing. I think Hari Raya is gonna be in May. So the Puasa month, which is the fasting month, will start in April. Okay, the fasting month will start in April. Thanks, GY. Thank you. The fasting month will start in April. I think eventually the marketing should start right now. So it's timely. We do this on the 26th so that I will share with you a bit about whatever I learned in the past one quarter, in fact, 1 or 2 quarters, about things that you can improve in terms of planning your Facebook ads strategy moving forward. So yeah, so Facebook ads trends and updates is the second thing that I'm announcing tonight. I hope I did not disappoint you. Anyway, so these are the two things that's going to happen in March. I'm quite excited about these two. And put it this way, remember when it comes to podcasts, right? Don't expect a schedule yet because we are still starting out. I'm still, trying to adjust to this thing, but I want your feedback. Okay, please share with me a lot more about your opinion, your feedback. How can I do this better? And let's grow this together. It doesn't, although I'm the host of this thing, I mean, of course, let me do the talking anyway. But I want you to contribute, helping me to grow this thing. Okay, so okay, now I want to roll into the first questions that we have got today. In fact, I just screenshot. I didn't have time to read through the questions, but I believe these are good questions. Now, Wordofly was asking this question on my YouTube video talking about how to duplicate Facebook ads campaign. Now, Wordofly is asking, duplicate ads, is it means the same ads with two ads campaign, or already run ads using WhatsApp conversion? Now you want to duplicate new campaign, post engagement, means that there is one Facebook ads running in two campaign. Okay. Basically, duplicating can happen in many level. Okay, so if you talk about Wordofly, if you're talking about you're duplicating the campaign as a new campaign, then you can change the objective. And when you're duplicating the campaign and you change objective, theoretically you will be using the same ad, which is the same Facebook post, as an advertisement. Okay, if that's your question, okay, that's possible. Okay, so you're asking one same ads with two ads campaign. Yes, I think that's correct. That's mean one Facebook ads can run in two campaign. However, if you are changing, I mean, let's say for example, if you are using conversion campaign and you want to change it to post engagement, let me try to understand. I mean, as long as you're using the same ad. In fact, this can also be done when you're setting up the advertisement, because there is another way that you can actually capture the link or the so-called the ad ID or the post ID of the advertisement, and you can use the same ad to run. I mean, to use the same ad to run multiple campaigns using different objectives. But technically, when you're duplicating like that, it should carry, unless if you are originally, for example, if it's a like engagement objective, which is a normal post without the call to action buttons. And when you are duplicating it and you instead you create a conversion campaign, which is the other way around compared to the objective or the so-called the situation that you're sharing with us, then it may become another ad, because the moment you go to conversion, you will have to add a call to action. So if you add a call to action, theoretically it will become a new post. Yeah. So okay, Wordofly, you have to monitor, because according to what I know, because I have not done this for a long time, because to be frank, when we duplicate, right, we just want to let it go. Usually we don't really monitor, does it really carry the same ad? But based on what I know, it should carry the same ad based on the situation that you're looking at. Okay. But of course, if you guys have any so-called suggestion, or if you have experienced something similar and you have some add-on to share with us, please chip in. Okay, so this is the first question that I received from World of Fly. Thank you so much for joining the community. And let's go to the next one. Now, Vin is asking, wait, let me read this. Like I said, I haven't read this. So Vin said, great video. Thank you, Vin. And you're saying, is it possible to track results from Facebook page itself? So what you mean here is you're currently running a lead gen ad. However, if someone doesn't want to complete the form, all they have to do is to click on the page name listed on the top of the ad, then they will be lead to the Facebook page itself. That's correct. At that point, since your website URL is also on the page, if they click the URL from there, they will still arrive on your website without having to complete the form. Is this action trackable? You're looking to capture this data and tag it in GHL. Now, first thing first, I do not know what is GHL. Maybe it's a tracking whatever mechanism. But based on the situation that you're talking about here is you're saying that when you run a lead gen ad, if somebody saw your ad, don't want to become your lead, meaning that they ignore the lead form, instead they click on the profile and go to your your Facebook page and click on the link that you left on your Facebook page and go to the landing page. Your question is, are you able to track that? The answer is yes. Now, when you're tracking an action like that, if you want to use it back as an advertisement, if you want to use it back as a custom audience that you want to run retargeting advertisement to this group of people, the only way, there are two ways, okay? First, it's either you install a Facebook Pixel. Facebook Pixel is basically a cookie-based tracking code that is installed on your website, which is it's a browser-based, cookie-based kind of like tracking mechanism. So it will track based on people who visit your website, and you can actually track based on actions. Even you want to go deeper based on people who purchase, people who sign up as lead. There are many levels of events that you can track. Now that's the Pixel, which is in a way, Facebook is saying that Pixel is getting a little bit more not as reliable because of the browser actually kind of like phasing out cookies tracking. And then of course, the iOS 14 is also having this, not allowing the tracking and all this kind of stuff. So they are also advising us to install the conversion API, which is the Facebook conversion API, which is a browser level tracking, which means if a person comes to your website, instead of tracking it on the, not browser, server level, instead of tracking it on the browser, they will track it on the server level, which is a more reliable data. And what I would suggest is if you have the capability, which is the the technology know-how, the technical know-how, you can actually combine these things together. Okay, so I think Chiwa is like suggesting the GHL is possibly the payment gateway. He didn't say it's payment gateway, and he started with lead gen. I would assume maybe not the same thing. But then again, I do not know if it's a tracking on a payment gateway. That is something that I don't understand. I have not done payment gateway level tracking before. Okay, to be frank, I don't know about that. So Chiwa, if you have something you can share with us. All right, so yeah, I hope I answered your question, Vin. Theoretically, if you install either Facebook Pixel or conversion API, you'll be able to track people who come to your website. Definitely trackable. Anything actually visit your website or your mobile apps. In fact, everything is trackable when it comes to digital marketing. All right, Vin, thanks. Now, basically, we had two gentlemen asking about similar question because, I had a video talking about if you're not able to verify business manager, for some business manager that are new, you may not be able to verify your business. Now, verifying a business has got several benefits. One is you actually verify that you are a legit business because you need to submit your business documents and you need to actually connect it to a landline and a billing address and everything. So that verifies you as a business, and Facebook usually would value business manager that are verified. And to be frank, if it's not verified also, you're not losing much so-called whatever feature. I don't think so you're losing any feature. It's just that when you probably get, like, for example, like Chiwai's situation last 2 weeks, right? He was being hostile takeover and all that. Maybe being registered or being verified would give you some benefit. But so far, what I wanted to say here is, in fact, I gotten my business manager verified only in 2020 or 2019. So when I started my agency, even in 2010, even though back then we didn't have the business manager, but for the longest time, I didn't really bother to go and verify that. So that's the thing. Okay, so verifying a business manager, in my opinion, is quite advisable. If you can, no harm doing it. But in certain scenario, you may not be able to have the verified. Like for example, Rachid is saying it's grayed out. He's saying you're not even getting a verified option, the user option, but it's grayed out. I think Rai was having an issue saying that you don't have any business, but apps are there. But apps are there on business. What should we do? If you don't have any business, but apps are there on business, what should we do? Now, okay, these are two questions. Now, let's take a look at Rachid's first question first. So if it's being grayed out, okay, that means that you're not given the option yet, right? In this video itself, I believe, Rachid, you didn't watch this video. If you watch this video, there is a hack that you can actually go through to force your business manager to have, to actually remove the gray out situation where you will have the option to, really like verify your business. So Rachid, if you're watching this, watch back that video that you are commenting. And it gives you some idea. It gives you a way to do that, which is essentially you want to go and create Facebook apps. Now, creating a Facebook apps means you are creating a Facebook apps that is connected to something beyond Facebook. It could be a Facebook app. Back then we have this Facebook app, which is like a iframe landing page that is built within Facebook page, which is totally like all passe long time ago kind of product. But then again, Facebook apps now means even your website can be created as a Facebook app, which is you can create its own tracking or whatever. I'm not familiar with this thing, but that's what I have done. And if you're creating a mobile apps, definitely you want to create a Facebook app to link these two things together, which is what they do. Now, when you have a Facebook app, it's usually if you have created a Facebook app in a proper way, then because you have an app, they will allow you to verify your business. So that's what happened. Okay, so Rachid, go through the video again. I believe you have not, else you would definitely get an answer already. Now for Rai is saying that if you do not have any business, but you have created an app, what should we do now? If you do not have any business, the only way to verify a business manager is to register a business. All right, I think the basic answer to this thing here is a business manager is only for business entity. If you want to verify it, you need to have business registration. You need to submit a document. I'm not sure about other countries though, but that's what I understand in the countries that I serve, like Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, Indonesia, all the same. So in order to verify a business manager, you must have a business entity. So even you created an app, then you have the feature available, which is the the gray out button being removed that you can click on it. But when you are able to click on it, then eventually they will ask for all the documentations. So you need to have a business anyway. Okay, so right, I hope I answered the question. All right, I don't see any more questions coming up, so I just want to quickly spend the next 5 hours going through my quick announcement tonight. First thing first, I'm happy to announce that I'm having a new podcast. It's called the Small Biz Marketing Podcast by yours truly. So over here, I wanted, my intention is very simple. I want to share my experience and accumulatively build a community of entrepreneurs supporting each other. Eventually, starting a business is not easy. And you would talk about small businesses, usually they have a lot more different kind of struggle because they may not have that much resources as those bigger corporations or those more well-established business owners. We probably will face more different situations. And usually we are very lonely because the journey is lonely. And we don't have a lot of people that we can turn to advise us on different situations. But accumulatively, when we come together, even though I'm the host, and to be frank, I'm open to the idea of inviting entrepreneurs to come and share on specific topics. So if you want to share your experience, it's not going to be like long thing like the 3 Marketeers show. That's what I promise you. First episode is about only like 12 minutes or something like that. It's a very short snippets kind of thing. Okay, so my intention is I don't want to create something that is like too long, that is very difficult for people to consume. Rather, I want to create topical like episodes. So if you are you want to talk about certain things, right, we can actually have a quick Zoom call and I'll record it, and eventually we can turn it into like a podcast so-called episode like that very quickly. So this is a bit different compared to my 3 Marketer show where we need to go live and all that. It's a different thing. So yeah, that's a different way of contributing to the community that I want to actually do moving forward. And you know me, I've been doing things for long term and I intend to build this for long term. So that's what I want to do. So if you like what this thing, the small biz marketing, give me all ideas, chip in your thoughts and anything, and I would love to grow this together with you. Okay, so the small biz marketing podcast is there. And the next thing is I am launching a new Zoom gathering. I wouldn't want to call it a workshop. It's more like a Zoom gathering where I'm inviting you, if your Facebook advertising is your thing, I'm inviting you to join me, okay, on I think it's 26th of March on at 8:30 p.m. to join me over an hour or two to discuss about what are the latest changes and trends and updates, when it comes to Facebook advertising. So I'll be sharing from my end, okay, about what I observed, about the situations that I actually gone through, and probably some learning that I get from my account manager or my Facebook ads learning or whatever. And I will share my end, and I would love to hear your sharing as well. So if you learn something very interesting, if you have gone through something very interesting, join me to share with me, or even if you want to tell me earlier so that I can include it in my sharing together. I will mention you definitely because it comes from you. Then please let me know. Please reach out to me so that we can do this together. Okay. All right. So, yep, I think there's not much. I don't see more questions coming up. Thank you so much. I think that's what we do, and we're coming back on track. And usually, this is what we do on every Sunday night at 10 p.m. It's called the Ask Me Anything session. It's a half an hour session where I will answer your questions about Facebook advertising and digital marketing. So, all you need to do is just to post your questions on my YouTube channel or my Facebook group, okay? And I will answer them on the following Sunday night at 10 p.m. Malaysia time. So, right, this is it. Thank you so much for joining this session of the Ask Me Anything session, and I'll see you when I see you next week. Thank you. Good night. Bye bye.